Part 3. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 22. After getting the new equipment, Wang Shuo felt that he could beat 10. It was time to explore the territory again. Wang Shuo was always worried about the unknown dangers in the swamp, so he quickly checked the task. There was no new task prompt. After the elite crocodile was killed, it seemed that he had a period of rest. He checked the diary again. The boring prophecy that had been refreshing the channel for several days had disappeared. Instead, it was, System Task, Sacrifice a soul to the diary to get a prompt. Haha, I laughed to death. Wang Shuo suddenly laughed out loud. He just checked the taskbar and there was no new task. He now concluded that there must be something strange about this diary. Although he didn't know what the situation was, he didn't believe it. He no longer paid attention to the diary and went to the north of the swamp. In the past few days, he only explored the edge of the swamp. This time he decided to go deeper. Seeing a large area of water in front of him, these were all ponds formed after he collected flax and clay. The area is already more than 200 square meters. Now in the pond, you can see a lot of fish swimming around at the bottom of the water. The water birds in the east also flew here to hunt. He chose a place with mud on the edge of the pond and laid a bamboo raft along the way. He walked towards the depths of the swamp for about 200 meters. He found that bubbles kept coming out of the swamp. Seeing this strange scene, he released a mud smoothing. The system prompt sounded. You caused 10 points of damage to the mud monster, no level, equivalent to ordinary beasts. Sigh, there are still monsters, which made Wang Shuo a little cautious. He kept using skills, and after 10 or so times, the system prompted him. You killed the mud monster, ID, Mud 53279, Energy Crystal add 1. Wang Shuo was not calm. This mud monster is too weak. It's too easy for Wang Shuo to kill it. In fact, this can't be blamed on the mud monster. First of all, they can only live in the mud. It is difficult to survive without the mud, unless they reach a very high level and can create mud everywhere. And they themselves have a low risk factor and only attack small animals in the mud. Secondly, the damage caused by swords is very low to them, and they have almost natural defense. If it weren't for Wang Shuo's skill restraint, they would still be very difficult to die. And Wang Shuo got an important information. Killing ordinary monsters can also get energy crystals, but there are no soul crystals. It seems that as long as there is a system ID, there should be energy crystals. Are all monsters composed of energy crystals? And only monsters with wisdom can have soul crystals? Wang Shuo couldn't help but guess. I should have a soul myself. If I die, can my soul also be captured by others? As soon as this idea came into being, Wang Shuo was a little creepy. Don't die, otherwise, the soul will not be at peace. In fact, energy crystals are possessed by all creatures, but even creatures with soul crystals will not necessarily explode soul crystals after death. In this world where it's either you or me, sympathy is ridiculous. He was no longer merciful, and he just smoothed things over with the nearby mud monsters. Energy Crystal add 1. You have obtained the Summon Mud Monster skill book. Damn, a rubbish skill book. The mud monster is so weak, it's useless to summon it. Wang Shuo couldn't help but complain. The system detects that the player has the Summon Mud Monster skill book. Do you want to learn it? But after thinking about it, he still clicked learn. It's better than nothing. Summon Mud Monster, consume 10 points of mental power, summon a mud monster from a mud pit or swamp to fight for you, lasting 30 minutes, skill CD, 1 minute after summoning 100, it can be upgraded. That's about right. At the same time, Wang Shuo was surprised to find that his smoothed things over skill had been upgraded to level 2 without him noticing. Smooth the mud, Level 2, consumes 1 point of mental power, used on a 2 cubic meter mud pit or muddy land, separates the mud and water, and obtains clay and water, no skill CD. The range is larger. Summon the mud monster. Wangshuo roared, with full momentum. On the surface of the swamp in front of him, a black sea urchin the size of a baby's head appeared, so cute. Oh my god, I expect you to fight for me, am I crazy? Looking at the harmless little cutie in front of him, Wangshuo sighed and said, you are only worthy of being a mascot. He ordered the mud monster to come closer. The soft and cute little cutie rolled over and touched it. It felt very soft. The spikes on the outside looked intimidating, but they were all fake. And Wangshuo's hands were black, feeling like ink that could not be washed off, and there was a smell of mud. Almost made Wangshuo vomit. Wangshuo had originally planned to adopt a godson, but he immediately gave up the idea and kicked it far away. In this swamp, there were countless mud monsters. Because he kept summoning mud monsters and wanted to upgrade earlier, his mental power was consumed quickly. Moreover, he also figured out that the way the sludge monster attacks is to spray a ball of corrosive sludge at the enemy, which is equivalent to using part of his body to hurt others. Kill 1,000 enemies and lose 800 of his own. This is simply self-mutilation. In the sludge land, the sludge can be replenished in time. If it is on land, it is estimated that it will spray itself out after a few mouthfuls. So far, he has only seen 2 sludge monsters that have fought back against him, but he has crocodile leather armor and has not suffered any damage, but it is a bit smelly. Because you slaughtered a large number of sludge monsters, the sludge monster leader has become hostile to you. What's the situation? I killed his little brother and the boss is angry. It was about an hour before dusk, and his mental strength was running low, so he planned to return to the shelter. There were 2,500 units of clay in the backpack. As soon as he got home, he heard the system prompt. The residential upgrade is complete. Residential buildings, durability 2000/2000, standard for a well-off life, unlock the warehouse, toilet, front yard and backyard, tool bench and forging table can be upgraded. Seeing the 5 rooms in front of him, Wangshuo couldn't help but feel an indescribable sense of pride. In his mind, he imagined what he would say to his future son, look, this is the foundation that Dad has earned for you. The towering roof, the flying eaves, and the 4 corners have a ridge beast. Wangshuo couldn't wait to go in and take a look. Pushing open the heavy double wooden door, there is a hall in front of him, and a picture of a tiger descending the mountain is hung in front of it. The majestic tiger seems to walk out of the painting and choose someone to eat. In the middle is a square flat table, with 2 armchairs on both sides. Well, now I don't have to cross my legs to eat. Wangshuo looked at the square table in the middle and couldn't help but admire. The room on the left is Wangshuo's bedroom, which is much larger than before, and the earthencong looks more magnificent. To the left of the bedroom is the kitchen, which is also nearly 20 square meters. Wangshuo walked to the right side of the hall again. The first room is the warehouse. There are wall cabinets on 3 walls, but they cannot be opened. Warehouse can be upgraded. Do you want to upgrade? Warehouse upgrade, wood 304/200, stone 345/10. Yes. Wood -200, stone -10. 3 wall cabinets show that they are under construction. He came to the last room, the workshop. As soon as he stepped into the house, the system prompted again that the tool bench and forging table can be upgraded. Upgrade tool bench, wood 104/50, stone 335/10. Upgrade forging table, stone 335/100, iron ore 800/100. Upgrade. Yes. Wood -50, stone -110, iron ore -100. It takes half an hour to upgrade the warehouse, tool bench, and forging table. Just wait. Wang Shuo came to the kitchen and planned to make something to eat. At this moment, the system prompt sounded. Emergency notice, tonight is a blizzard night, please prepare for the cold. Lord Survival, my shelter in Crocodile territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 23. Wang Shuo opened the chat channel. It's not over yet. We just experienced acid rain, and now there's a snowstorm. They don't treat us as human beings. I'm going to die, but I don't know if my wooden house can bear it. I estimate that the main reason is the temperature. It will definitely drop to many degrees below zero. I don't even have a quilt now. Please give me cotton clothes and quilts. Wang Shuo felt that the time had come for him to make a fortune, no, to help his compatriots. He reacted immediately and opened the trading shop directly without getting anything to eat. Sweeping a lot of cotton. Many players have not yet changed their prices. There were 1 cotton for 2 wood, and 10 cotton for 1 silver coin. Wang Shuo bought them all with a unit price of less than 20 copper coins. A total of 20 wood, 100 stone, 200 L water, and 2 gold coins were used in exchange for 2,400 units of cotton. At this stage, cotton is either obtained by players opening treasure chests or discovering cotton fields, so the price depends entirely on the players themselves, and there is no standardized market price yet. Wang Shuo laughed when he saw the 2,700 units of cotton in his hand. Wang Shuo, who was in a happy mood, went directly to Chef Zhang and ordered a takeaway. Then we started making cotton padded clothes and a 6-piece bed set. 6-piece bedding set, 10 cotton add 2 cotton cloth add 2 cotton thread. Cotton clothing and cotton pants cotton 4 plus cotton cloth 1 plus cotton thread 1. Just when Wang Shuo made 10 sets of cotton clothes and 10 sets of bedding. The tool table and forging table upgrades are complete. Wang Shuo opened the tool table and found that it could increase the production speed. It was like dozing off on a pillow. Level 2 tool bench, intermediate items can be made. Please explore the specific synthetic formula by yourself. Level 2 forging platform, you can create ordinary armor, unlock more weapon production, and unlock sophisticated level weapons. Please explore the specific synthetic formula by yourself. Ignoring other things for now, he just wants to make cotton clothes and 6-piece suits. At the beginning, it took 1 minute to make a set of cotton clothes, but now it only takes 30 seconds. However, the production speed can't keep up. With 2,700 units of cotton, he plans to make 150 sets of cotton suits and 6-piece suits, leaving 100 units of cotton in reserve. This would take more than an hour. I don't know if these players can wait. He found the construction acceleration scroll in the warehouse, but there was no way to speed up the production of items. In desperation, he had to make some and put some in the trading house. He glanced at other people's prices first. The most exaggerated one was directly priced at 100 gold coins. More are between 1 gold coin and 3 gold coins. The price of cotton is now as low as 5 silver coins per unit. The prices are just crazy. Under the threat of death, a bottle of water may be sold for 500 yuan. Wang Shuo priced each cotton padded jacket at 80 silver coins, which is not excessive. Each 6-piece bedding set costs 2 gold coins, but it's not excessive. This can not only quickly withdraw funds, but also help some compatriots. And even at this price, he can only produce 150 sets, which can only meet the needs of a small number of people. This blizzard is destined to take away many people. Open chat channel. 100 gold coins, a set of cotton clothes. You are going crazy thinking about money. It's so damn expensive, why don't you just die? It's too expensive upstairs, so don't buy it. Thank God, someone finally lowered the price. I bought a set of cotton clothes for 80 silver coins. I can't afford it for 80 silver. Please lower the price. After a while, Wang Shuo discovered that a man named Zhao Tian's kept buying his cotton clothes, and then listed them in the trading house at several times the price. Wang Shuo was a little angry. This kind of person was simply crazy. Wang Shuo changed the trading house's purchase requirements to limit the purchase of one set per person. Soon, Zhao Tian sent a private message to Wang Shuo. "Boy, what do you mean? Why don't you sell it to me? I can sell the things I make however I want. Do you have any control over it? Don't you think your behavior of buying low and selling high is a bit excessive at this time? You are selling something and I am buying something, but you are short of money. I warn you, don't block my way to make a fortune. I will take whatever goods you have, otherwise." Zhao Tian's threatened. "You can still come along the trading house and hit me," Wang Shuo said with some disdain. "Your name is Wang Shuo, right? I remember you," Zhao Tian said viciously. Wang Shuo no longer wants to pay attention to such people. As long as he is strong, there is nothing to fear in the face of such threats. Wang Shuo checked the backpack again and found that there were still many things that could be made. However, the tool bench was always occupied, so he had to turn his attention to the forging bench. After upgrading the level 2 forging bench, he can make more weapons and armor. Before, he could only make leather armor and some basic weapons, but now he can make iron armor. He also has a lot of iron, coal, and bronze ore, and can make some weapons and bronze keys. These things should also be of great use to players who have treasure chests and urgently need to deal with the beasts in their territory. This is called market analysis. Wang Shuo couldn't help but praise himself. When did I start to have such a business acumen? In the following time, he used the forging table to make 490 bronze keys. Since bronze keys consume very little bronze ore, he still has 300 bronze ores. Wang Shuo guessed that all the bronze ores at present should be obtained from treasure chests. There are very few players with bronze ores, and he should be the only one who can make bronze keys. He just went to the trading house to search, but there were no bronze keys for sale. Monopoly business, Wang Shuo was a little proud. He forged all the 800 iron ores he got into iron ingots, and then made some weapons and armor. Pukeo, 1 hemp rope add 1 iron ingot. Long spear, 1 wooden stick add 1 iron ingot. Iron armor, 2 iron ingots. Wooden bow, 1 wooden stick add 1 hemp rope. 10, iron, arrows equal 1 wooden stick add 10 arrowheads add 1 feather. Still left 21 iron ingots for backup, and made all the others. He didn't make sophisticated weapons, mainly because he was afraid that players couldn't afford them, and the cost of materials was too high, so ordinary weapons were the most suitable. What price should the weapons be set at? Wang Shuo was entangled, but the smile on his face showed that he was secretly happy. Puko add 15, long lance add 15, iron armor add 10, wooden bow add 20, iron arrow add 1000. What was worthy of Wang Shuo's surprise was that there was actually a bow and arrow of excellent quality, and good things naturally had to be kept for himself. Looking at these high-end goods in the warehouse, Wang Shuo was very uneasy. Opening the trading house, the puteo was priced at 1 gold coin, the long spear was 1.5 gold coins, the wooden bow was 2 gold and 50 silver, with 10 iron arrows, and the rest of the iron arrows, 2 silver and 10, were all hung up. Bronze keys were directly 2 gold coins each, and 100 were hung up. Who knows what good things others can open? 2 gold coins, but drizzle. He still has more than 10,000 tiles, and he also put up 15,000 tiles at the price of 10 silver coins for 100 tiles. There are also bedding, cotton clothes. It was already late at night when he finished all this. Wang Shuo's eyelids were a little droopy, and he fell asleep directly. Tang Hua, a player who opened a treasure chest and got a flint at the beginning, took advantage of the early advantages, and quickly stood his ground. He has also upgraded to a stone house, but the acid rain drained all his savings, and now he has finally recovered. Because he has tasted the sweetness of trading, the most thing he does every day is to visit the trading house. At this moment, he suddenly found that a large number of weapons appeared in the trading house. The number was huge, and it was impossible to get them from opening a treasure chest, and the price made him a little breathless. Now all the money on his body, added together, is less than 1 gold coin. He clicked it and his eyes widened immediately. Because each weapon has a number. Could it be that a player has become a blacksmith, or has found a blacksmith? This is simply taking off. He directly clicked on the player's information and checked all his consignment items. For a moment, he stood there in a daze, not saying a word for a long time. This big guy is too scary. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 24. He silently calculated that if all the items listed by Wang Shuo in the trading house were sold, they would cost a terrifying 700 gold coins. The strength of the boss is so terrifying. At this time, the players in the chat channel were also in a frenzy. Damn, there are so many weapons, I really want them. Why is it so expensive? My total assets now are only 15 silver coins. I originally thought I was okay, but I didn't expect that I can't even afford ordinary quality equipment. I bought a set of bows, arrows, weapons, and armor. I feel like I can do it again. I will eat wild boar tomorrow. Boss, I really want to be your little brother. Wang Shuo's private chat messages and requests to add friends instantly reached 99 plus. At this time, Wang Shuo, who was sleeping, did not know about the chat channel. In the morning, Wang Shuo was woken up by the cold again. Because he forgot to add firewood to the Kong yesterday, the fire in the morning had been extinguished. Fortunately, it went out soon, otherwise he might freeze to death. I checked the system time, it was 7:03 in the morning. There were snowflakes outside, and the front yard that Wang Shuo had not yet had time to build was already covered in snow. Snowflakes flying all over the sky caused the temperature to plummet, keeping countless players awake all night. Even though they kept adding wood to the campfire, they still couldn't let them sleep peacefully. The warmth of the wooden house was too poor, the temperature was lost too quickly, and they lacked enough warm cotton clothing. Even when they stood next to the fire, their hands and feet were cold. As a last resort, they had to constantly adjust the position of the fire, baking the front for a while and the back for a while. Just like fried tofu, this is called two-sided yellow. Moreover, the extremely cold weather also accelerated the consumption of wood, and they fell into an embarrassing situation of shortage of wood. Many players no longer complained in the chat channel, begged their father, or sued their grandma. They would rather keep their dignity and die quietly. Li Xiaomeng was already in despair. Looking at the bonfire in front of him, there was still the last piece of wood in his backpack, with tears shining in his eyes. She has never played this kind of game, so she lags behind others in everything. Moreover, she has very little strength, and her speed in collecting resources is much slower than others. Looking at the pet cat beside her, she took out a piece of meat and handed it over. Meow. Miserable, 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 how can the word miserable be used? She could only watch when she saw others exchanging various life-saving supplies. She only had a few copper coins in total. This is probably the scene where the wine and meat of the wealthy family smells bad, and the road freezes to death. She put the last piece of wood into the bonfire. That's it? Maybe this is the best destination. At the same time, Wang Shuo also relit the fire Kong. Feeling that the temperature in the room was too low, he made another fire pit. After a while, his whole body warmed up. Went to the kitchen and made myself some egg noodles. Only then did he start browsing the information in the survivor's manual. First is task. Day 6, 7:36 a.m., number of survivors in the current area, 3147/10,000. There are almost 1,000 fewer people, and Wangshuo's noodles are no longer tasty. Main mission, survive to the end. Side mission. 1. Please upgrade your residence to a courtyard house as soon as possible. Upgrade condition 1, 2,000 wood add 10,000 fire bricks add 20,000 green tiles add 2,000 stone add 20 energy crystals add 200 iron ore add 100 gold coins and energy converter. Upgrade condition 2, complete control of the territory. 2. Collect more supplies, build more buildings, make more tools, upgrade higher level shelters, to obtain a higher ranking. 3. Because you killed the elite crocodile, gained the hatred of the crocodile clan, slaughtered the sludge monster clan, and gained the hostility of the sludge monster leader, they decided to unite with the devil frog clan in the territory to launch a joint siege operation against you. It won't happen. I'm just one person, and you 3 races are jointly acting together? Wangshuo was a little panicked. They were fighting in a group. With an uneasy feeling, he checked the transaction. At this time, he saw that almost all the items he had consigned were sold out. He quickly checked the number of gold coins in the backpack -782. He felt like he was going to be knocked unconscious by gold coins. Yesterday I was still chatting with Lao Zhang. If you have 10 gold coins, you are considered a rich man. Now this. Wangshuo's shock was not much different from Tang Hua's. Although he had psychological expectations when he listed the trading house, he never dared to think that these could be sold. From this point of view, players who are living well have strong purchasing power. At this moment, Wangshuo thought, could gold coins be forged into gold ingots? He quickly came to the furnace and tried to put a gold coin in, and found that it could be smelted. 1 gold ingot equal 10 gold coins. Wangshuo finally saw the hope of making a golden armored warrior. 100 gold ingots, and 500 iron ingots. What Wangshuo never dared to think about before, now he finally has hope. However, the poor materials are also disappointing. No matter how difficult it is, we must get it together. Wangshuo had a headache when he thought of the 3 tribes joining forces to suppress the enemy, and he had to find helpers. The golden armored warrior produced at such a huge cost should have good combat power. However, we still have 300 gold coins left, so we need to sell something. Wangshuo thought that he had opened a bronze treasure chest and got a lot of gold coins. If other players also opened their treasure chests, they would always get gold coins, so they could buy more supplies. So he took out another 100 keys and hung them in the trading house. At about 9 o'clock in the morning, the snow finally subsided. At this time, Du and Wengzi, who had exchanged the water purifier blueprints from Wangshuo, sent him a message. Boss, I have a few very good blueprints, which are very suitable for your civil engineering department. When did I become a civil engineering department? Wangshuo was a little puzzled. Haha, boss, look at you, you have occupied more than half of the tiles in the trading house. Everyone is now wondering if you are studying this major, otherwise how can you make so many tiles? You said so. What good blueprints do you have? Wall construction blueprints, brick kill construction blueprints. Wangshuo's eyes were straight, this must be a good thing for him. The blueprints that perfectly match his secondary profession. How did you get them? Wangshuo asked calmly, his tone was very flat, he was a little afraid that the other party would ask for too much. Du and Wengzi smiled and said, this is also thanks to the boss. I bought a bronze key and opened a treasure chest to get it. So that's how it is. Wangshuo plans to visit the trading house more often in the future. There must be many people who open treasure chests and get a lot of good things. What do you plan to exchange with me, gold coins or materials? I won't exchange these 2 blueprints for anything, I'll give them to you. Wang Shuo became alert. For free? Why? A while ago, the water purifier blueprint you exchanged for me finally helped me out of the predicament. I can still make a living now, but this game is changing rapidly, and no one knows what will happen next. At this point, Du and Wengzi paused and continued, I hope that you will help me when I encounter difficulties in the future. These two blueprints are considered a favor. Du and Wengzi has been paying attention to Wang Shuo for some time and knows what was posted in the trading house yesterday. He was completely shocked, and more determined to cling to this thigh. He even thought that Wang Shuo should be the most powerful one at present. If not the first, he could at least be ranked in the top 3. When Wang Shuo heard this, he stood there in a daze. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 25. I'm so charming? Some younger brothers are willing to join me. Is he a liar? After all, people are evil, especially in such an environment. The evil of human nature can be easily released. Wang Shuo's mind was full of thoughts. Who cares? If I don't take advantage of the ready-made opportunity, I'd be a bastard. I'll talk about the future later. If I can't protect myself, I can't help others. If my strength allows, it's also a matter of convenience to help. How about this? I'll give you 5 gold coins for these 2 drawings, just as the key fee. Boss, I'm really honoring you with these drawings. The two of them pushed and shoved, and finally Wang Shuo gave him 2 gold coins. Wall construction drawings add 1, brick kill construction drawings add 1, gold coins -2. After Wang Shuo got the drawings, he immediately learned. Wall, soil and sand and water and earth bricks can make primary walls, cement and sand and water and fire bricks can make advanced walls. The number of materials depends on actual needs. Brick kill, use 1000 earth bricks to make a brick kill, consume 100 coal and 5000 clay, and can make 5000 fire branches Oregon 20000 tiles at a time. This is a higher grade brick than earth bricks. Surprisingly, he also learned the synthesis formula of cement. Cement, 1 sand add 1 water add 1 lime. He hurried to the trading house to see that no one was selling lime. It seems that only the primary wall can be built. But this still makes Wang Shuo in a good mood. Thinking that there are still many buildings to build, Wang Shuo hurriedly walked outside and planned to build the buildings that can be built after unlocking. Front yard, 1000 earth bricks. Build. Yes. I saw that the 100 square meters of ground in front of the house began to be constructed. At this time, the heavy snow finally turned into light snow, and there were signs of clear weather. He came to the backyard again and found that the crops in his farmland were frozen to death. You're kidding me? Helplessly, he had to sow again. At this time, he checked the construction of the backyard again. For the backyard, you only need to build a circle of walls. But it requires 2000 bricks. After thinking about it, he simply fenced the front yard as well, which would require 4000 bricks. He checked again and found that the materials for building the hut required 10 stones, 100 wood, and 500 bricks. There were still several materials missing. The price of wood and stone was almost stable at around 10 copper coins. After all, these two materials were very basic and most players could easily obtain them. He used another gold coin to buy 500 wood and 500 stone. The bricks were not enough. At this moment, he still had 2500 clay. After making all of them, there was just 100 more. So he hurried back to make bricks. He wanted to make fire bricks directly in the kill, but Wang Shuo didn't have that much clay now. Considering that the beasts in the swamp were ready to move, he decided to build a primary wall first. After all, it would be an extra guarantee. When all the materials were gathered, he immediately chose to build. When all these were built, a whole morning was gone. I was too tired at noon, so I went directly to Lao Zhang to order takeout. Chef Zhang, because he has been cooking a lot recently, his cooking skills have also been upgraded, unlocking more food styles. Now he can make fish-flavored shredded pork rice and the like. Wang Shuo spent 24 copper coins and ordered one. The system delivered the food, and it was like it had just come out of the pot, still steaming. Wang Shuo took a bite, and it still tasted like home. At this time, Wang Shuo's friend channel prompted that another player had added him as a friend. Lu Dehai, before entering the game, was a boat owner, and fishing was a thing of the past. He was really fed up recently. On the third day, he got a side quest. As long as he could catch a beast-level fish, he could change his job to become a fisherman. But beast-level fish were too hard to find, and his strength in the water had directly risen to a higher level, which could be said to have reached the level of elite monsters. He could only make small fishing boats at present. Ordinary fishing nets could not catch them at all. Beast-level fish would break after a little struggle, so he urgently needed a high-level fishing net of excellent level. He also listened to the advice of a friend and said that he came to Wang Shuo to try his luck, maybe he would get something. "Boss, do you have a good level fishing net?" Wang Shuo thought about it. He could only make high-level fishing nets now. If his luck exploded, he could get a good level fishing net, but luck was hard to say. No, Wang Shuo replied decisively. "Boss, can you help me think of a way? This is very important to me." As long as he became a fisherman, his strength would usher in a huge explosion. Now it was like he had encountered a bottleneck, and it was very uncomfortable to be stuck. After waiting for a long time, Wang Shuo didn't reply to him. He slapped his forehead and suddenly realized. If you don't see the rabbit, don't release the eagle. There is no benefit. Who will find a way for you? So, he sent Wang Shuo an illustration. Defense tower construction blueprint. This thing is of no use to Lu Dehai who wants to become a sea king, but it is still very tempting for players living on land. Sure enough, after a while, the other party responded. When Wang Shuo saw this blueprint, he swallowed his saliva, he wanted it too much. The crisis of the three tribes' encirclement and suppression could break out at any time. Wang Shuo wanted everything that could enhance combat effectiveness, so he replied. It is very difficult to get a high-level fishing net of excellent quality. I must use my luck once, and the price is very high. I understand, as long as it can succeed, no matter how high the price is, it's okay. For his dream of sailing, Lu Dehai fought hard. Then I'll try, but you have to provide the materials yourself, 10 copies first. The high-level fishing net requires 10 hemp ropes. Lu Dehai quickly traded 100 ropes. A few minutes later, Wang Shuo traded 10 pairs of high-level fishing nets to Lu Dehai, but it didn't work. 20 pairs, no explosion. 30 pairs, no explosion. At this time, Wang Shuo began to doubt whether he had no luck. Lu Dehai's forehead was also sweating. Not to mention the materials, is his dream of sailing really going to be shattered? Until the 39th pair, the system prompts. Excellent level advanced fishing net add 1. Wang Shuo finally breathed a sigh of relief. He quickly clicked on the transaction. Lu Dehai was also very excited and almost forgot to put the Arrow Tower blueprint into the transaction box. Arrow Tower blueprint add 1. Seeing the Arrow Tower blueprint in the backpack, Wang Shuo finally smiled. After learning Arrow Tower, 200 wood add 10 stone add 1 energy add 1000 arrows. 2 arrows can be shot per second, each arrow causes 100 points of damage, and a total of 1000 arrows can be shot continuously. This efficiency is too strong, and Wang Shuo is ecstatic. As long as the wall is built and a few more arrow towers are built, Wang Shuo's survival rate in the face of encirclement and suppression will be greatly increased. If the golden armor warrior is made, Wang Shuo will be completely not at all. The snow has stopped, the sky is clear, and most of the players have started to go out and collect supplies again. Wang Shuo thought about it, but still didn't dare to go out. The swamp might be brewing a storm. If he went there now, he would be walking into a trap. He had to quickly erect the arrow tower. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 26. To make iron arrows, he still lacked a lot of feathers. There was no choice but to buy them. Fortunately, there were players selling feathers. He swept the auction house and only bought 200 units of feathers. It cost 2.5 gold coins, mainly because some players bid a little too high. Who made him lack feathers now? The previous feathers had been used up, and there were 21 iron ingots left, which was enough to make 2,000 arrows. Then he silently chanted arrowheads in his heart. After getting 2,000 arrowheads, he started making iron arrows again. 10 iron arrows equal 1 wooden stick. Add 10 arrowheads, add 1 feather. In less than 20 minutes, the iron arrows were made. During this period, the wall and the toilet were also built. He had been doing it in the house before, using pottery pots. Now he finally had a toilet. He hurried to experience it, but the result made Wang Shuo want to give a bad review. Because it was a dry toilet, the smell made Wang Shuo's eyes a little irritated. It seems that it is still necessary to upgrade the shelter as soon as possible to improve the comfort of life. He came to the front yard again, stepped on the ground paved with earth bricks, and looked at the 1/3 acre of land within the wall. His mood became better. However, there were only materials for building 2 arrow towers, which made him entangled. Fortunately, the total area of his residential area was not very large, and the range of the arrow tower was 100 meters in radius. So he built one a little bit opposite the well, almost in the center of the entire residential area, and built another one on the left side of the gate of the wall. In this way, the firepower can not only cover the periphery of all the walls, but also focus on cleaning the area at the gate of the courtyard. It takes 1 hour to build an arrow tower. After Wang Shuo made it, he returned to the house and planned to find a way to earn 300 gold coins from the trading house, so that he could build a golden armor warrior. At present, bronze keys are still the best selling. Even if the surviving players each buy one, they can still sell more than 3,000. But in the morning, only half of the keys Wang Shuo hung up were sold. Either the players didn't get the bronze treasure chest, or they couldn't afford it, or they didn't know the news yet. So Wang Shuo hurried to the chat channel and shouted. A large number of bronze keys have appeared in the trading house, which can open bronze treasure chests. In the bronze treasure chests, there are various mysterious items that can improve your survival ability. There are not many left, I won't tell ordinary people. The efficiency of the advertisement is still considerable. In just a few minutes, the keys in Wang Shuo's trading house were sold out in seconds. Another 200 gold coins were in hand. He quickly put up another 100 keys, so that the gold coins could be collected. At this time, he found out again in the chat channel. What should I do if I can't afford the keys? Does anyone need a bronze treasure chest? I'll sell it. Wang Shuo quickly searched for bronze treasure chests in the trading house, and someone really sold it. However, the price was a bit daunting. Most of them started at 50 gold coins. Wang Shuo didn't want to be a sucker. At this time, a player marked a treasure chest for 5 gold coins. Wang Shuo bought one directly. Opening a treasure chest is a matter of luck. If you are lucky, you can get something valuable. If you are unlucky, you will lose. Wang Shuo went to wash his hands again. He has developed this habit now. He opened the treasure chest and saw only one pill inside. Physique enhancement pill. After taking it, physique add 3. Seeing only one pill, Wang Shuo still felt that he had made a profit. After all, it only cost 5 gold coins, plus a key. After taking it, his physique directly reached 11 points. He felt that his physical fitness had made a qualitative leap, his endurance was better, and his resistance to cold was also enhanced. Wang Shuo wanted to buy some treasure chests, but reason stopped him from buying them. He didn't dare to gamble now. It was more important to save money to build a golden armor warrior. There were already 970 gold coins. After a while, 30 gold coins arrived. There were thousands of gold coins. Wang Shuo hesitated for a moment, whether to summon the peddler now. What is needed most at present is combat power, and the golden armor warrior should be a good choice. After struggling for a while, Wang Shuo made up his mind and gave priority to making the golden armor warrior. It takes much longer to make gold ingots than iron ingots. It took Wang Shuo almost 2 hours to make these 100 gold ingots. 500 iron ingots are needed, which means 5,000 coal and 5,000 iron ore. He checked the iron ore in the trading house again. The current iron ore costs about 1 silver coin per unit. In this way, he needs 50 gold coins to get all the iron ore. The price of coal is lower, about 20 gold coins. However, there is not such a large number in the trading house, and some prices are high. So he quickly contacted Zhang Yang and Zhao Shanhe, 2 players, and exchanged them for iron ore and coal with bronze keys, but the quantity was still far from enough. Wang Shuo instantly felt that this was too difficult. He launched an advertisement in the chat channel. It was not until 9 o'clock in the evening that all the materials were collected. After arranging the production of iron ingots, he chose to go to sleep directly. Sunset City, on the throne. The Lord of Sunset City looked at the light curtain in front of him, and a wicked smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. This little guy is actually making a golden armor warrior, which is really surprising. He has been paying attention to these players recently, trying to find the glimmer of hope that the high priest told him. Occasionally, there will be a few players who will make his eyes light up and remind him of his original performance. At this time, Wang Shuo reminded him of his original regret. But I'm really looking forward to it. Before establishing a village, almost no player could obtain a unit with a single combat power reaching the bronze boss level. Immediately, he contacted Lord Zack through the token given to him by Lord Zack. Dear servant of God Zack, according to the rules of the game, we can issue up to 3 tasks to survivors, right? Certainly. Okay, now I want to issue a mission to Wang Shuo with ID, SAC 5678. Lord Sunset stood up and said respectfully. Ken. Early the next morning. Lord Zock's voice sounded in Wang Shuo's mind. Congratulations, little guy, you have gained the attention of Lord Sunset, and he decided to issue a mission to you. Seeing that you are still working hard, I will give you another gadget by the way. Wang Shuo noticed at this time that there was an extra prop in his backpack. Identification scroll. After use, you can identify the hidden attributes of items. Wang Shuo doesn't have any items to identify now. He was a little confused. At this time, he opened side mission. Since you have received the attention of the Sunset City Lord, the joint siege operation by the Crocodile clan, the Demon Frog clan, and the Silt clan has started in advance. If you successfully survive and successfully defend the territory, the Sunset City Lord will provide you with additional rewards. Countdown 2459. I'll go, it can still be like this. Wang Shuo was a little speechless. He felt that he was not completely ready yet. He hurried to the workshop. Make warrior in golden armor. Golden armor warrior, iron ingot 500/500, gold ingot 100/100, soul 1/1. Whether to make it? Yes. In production, it will take 2 hours. 2 hours, the day lilies will probably be cold by then. Chat channel. Wang Shuo, who can make the acceleration scroll. Buy it at a high price. Speed. Urgent. While sending messages, Wang Shuo took time to have breakfast. Boss, I want to speed up the scroll. I have 100 gold coins. Wang Shuo looked at his backpack. Yesterday he bought iron ore at any cost, but now he only had 22 gold coins. But the situation was urgent and I couldn't care less. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 27. I quickly contacted the player named Zhang Guangwen. But he was fooled by the other party. He didn't have any scrolls at all. He just couldn't stand that he had made too much money recently, so he deliberately tricked him. Wang Shuo was so angry. This player was already on Wang Shuo's blacklist. If there was a chance in the future, he would definitely make him look bad. After waiting for a long time, Lu Dehai contacted him. I have a scroll for making speed up here. Wang Shuo was ecstatic and quickly replied, how do you want to exchange it? You seem to be in a hurry, but this is an intermediate scroll, which can play a huge role at a critical moment. How about 50 gold coins? This is the critical moment. I only have 20 gold coins now, and I will give you 15 bronze keys. What do you think? Okay, deal. The scroll was in hand, but it could only speed up for half an hour. Wang Shuo's heart sank. It seems that he can only hold on for half an hour. I don't know if I can hold on for this half an hour. He quickly took out the high-level crocodile leather armor and put it on. After the physique reaches 11 points, he can equip this leather armor. He took the fine spear in his hand again. After the last battle with the crocodile, the durability was only half left. He had no way to repair the equipment at present. He looked at the arrows. There were still some that had not been sold out last time, and there were more than 200. He put on all the equipment that could enhance his combat effectiveness. Wang Shuo was armed to the extreme. Open character information. ID, 5678 Wang Shuo. Level, level 3. Strength, 11, 6 add 5. Constitution, 21, 11 add 10. Agility, 9, 6 add 3. Stamina, 14, 13 add 1. Health, 410. Defense, 20. Skills, 1 make peace with mud, 2 make mud pits, 3 summon mud monsters. Equipment, 1 fine spear, strength add 5, attack add 10, durability 10/10. Equipment, 2, advanced crocodile leather armor, gold quality, physique add 10, defense add 20, durability 100/100. Equipment requirements, basic physique 10. Equipment, 3, crocodile leather boots, excellent quality, agility add 3, durability 20/20. Equipment, 4, rebound necklace, energy add 1, can double the player's mental strength. Overall evaluation, you now have the strength to crush the beasts, go ahead, they will become the dead souls under your gun. Wang Shuo felt stronger than ever before. Now, there is a feeling of one person guarding a city. He stood outside the gate of the courtyard wall, quietly waiting for the arrival of the beasts. The war was about to start. At this time, Lord Zack posted a message in the Lord's chat channel. Lords, in the S area of the novice trial space, player number SAC5678 has triggered the beast suppression mission in advance. Lords and city lords who are interested in selecting potential subjects can pay attention to it. Wow! This time there is a player who can force the beasts in the territory to jointly suppress it. It's not easy. Yes, the game is only on the 7th day, and he has already built residential buildings. This speed is a bit exaggerated, but it's over. I bet 500 gold coins, betting that this kid can't hold on until the final boss appears. Okay, Lord of the Earth, I accept this bet with you. I have been following him for a long time. Wang Shuo naturally didn't know about these chat messages. He was tense and his face was cold at the moment. He held the spear in his right hand and stuck it into the ground, looking forward. He seemed fearless and had a great momentum to look down on the world. In fact, he was panicking. The battle with the elite crocodile at least gave him some combat experience, at least he wouldn't be scared to death by the beast. All I heard was a quack, quack sound. A group of magic frogs suddenly rushed over from a distance. These magic frogs were of different sizes, some were as big as a head, and some were only as big as a fist. After a careful inspection, each monster had an ID. Wang Shuo did not dare to despise them. He raised his hand and shot a magic frog directly. Are these beasts here to give experience? After Wang Shuo stabbed the magic frog to death, he felt that it was not difficult to kill it. This gave him an illusion that I was so strong. The magic frog level was only level 1 to 2, and the health was only 10 to 20 points. None of them could block Wang Shuo's shot. His current attack power was indeed a bit overwhelming for this kind of magic frog that was only worthy of being a vegetable, but there were a lot of magic frogs. The arrow tower was also continuously outputting, and this kind of magic frog with extremely low health could be killed with one arrow. Energy crystal at 1. Wang Shuo kept rushing left and right, turning and moving. Every time he thrust his spear out, he would definitely take the life of a magic frog. The magic frogs were not completely without attack power, but their attack method was to shoot out their tongues. Although it was difficult for Wang Shuo to hide in the group of magic frogs, his defense power had reached more than 20, and these injuries could basically be ignored. In less than 10 minutes, Wang Shuo killed more than 200 of them, and the arrow tower was even more powerful, directly killing 500 of them. The number of magic frogs gradually decreased, and at this time the mud monster also landed in Wang Shuo's territory. As soon as it came into contact with it, it spit saliva at Wang Shuo. Soon Wang Shuo was dyed into a black man. Wang Shuo endured the stench and used mud smoothing. However, there were too many of them and they were soon surrounded. He had to use a move called sweeping the thousands to clean up the monsters around him. Then he retreated into the courtyard gate. Quickly jumped onto the wall. He continued to clean up the mud monsters, and at this time, the crocodiles also began to appear. Although the number was far less than that of the magic frogs and mud monsters, the danger was much higher, which was one of the reasons why Wang Shuo jumped onto the wall. The crocodiles had no way to attack Wang Shuo, but the magic frogs and mud monsters could, and the mud monsters could also corrode the walls. This made Wang Shuo's heart sink. If the wall he was standing on was corroded, he would be surrounded again, and this time with the siege of crocodiles, he would be in danger. Wang Shuo assigned the attack of the arrow tower to the crocodiles, and an average of 2 arrows could kill one. This was good news. The mud monsters were not easy to deal with, because Wang Shuo's mental power was quickly used up, and the recovery speed was completely unable to keep up. For a while, Wang Shuo fell into a bitter battle. There are still 3 minutes. Wang Shuo silently calculated the time. Seeing that the wall under his feet was about to collapse, Wang Shuo quickly changed a section of the wall. Suddenly, the durability of the exquisite spear in his hand was exhausted and shattered. Wang Shuo took out the bow and arrow again and continued to attack the crocodile. The effect of using bows and arrows on the mud monster was too poor, and the number of magic frogs was almost killed. In the distance, a huge mass of mud, as if with a positioning device, sprayed on Wang Shuo, directly knocking off 20 of his health points, which scared him. Looking up, it turned out to be a huge mud monster, and Wang Shuo shot an arrow at it. After checking the system prompts, Wang Shuo learned the information of the huge mud monster. Mud monster leader, ID Mud 00001 Earth Wave, Level SS, HP 2500/2500, Skills, Mud Spray, Swamp creation, fire attraction. Wang Shuo took a breath of cold air. Level 3 vs level 9, don't even think about it. Wang Shuo was not sure about facing such a monster head-on. He quickly retreated and jumped to another section of the wall to avoid it. The wall was already riddled with holes. Fortunately, Wang Shuo attracted all the hatred, otherwise his house would have been lost. The arrows in the arrow tower had been shot out. There were at least hundreds of magic frogs, more than 50 crocodiles, and countless mud monsters in front of him. At this time, the only one who surrounded Wang Shuo was the mud monster leader, but there might be other bosses. Wang Shuo was in a desperate situation for a while. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 28. It seems that this defensive battle is coming to an end, a lord with fiery red hair laughed. Don't jump to conclusions until the last moment of death. Just when Wang Shuo's blood volume had dropped to around 100. The system prompts. The production of the golden armored warrior is completed. Wang Shuo quickly summoned it from his backpack. Golden armor warrior, bronze level puppet, attack power 220, defense power 50, durability, 5000. 1 energy crystal provides power for 1 day, and combat consumes 1 energy crystal per minute. The golden armored warrior is 2.5 meters tall. His whole body is covered in golden armor. He holds a large sword about 2 meters long in his hand, which is extremely sharp. Wang Shuo immediately invested 30 points of energy crystals and gave it an order to clean up the monsters. With a pop sound, the golden armored warrior jumped 5 meters away and jumped into the group of mud monsters. With one stroke of the knife, more than 10 monsters were killed instantly. Wang Shuo was stunned by its combat power. The mud monster's defense against swords is not absolute. In the face of absolute power, the sludge monster is as fragile as a piece of paper. He quickly fled to a relatively safe section of the wall. At this time, it was important to save his life. After getting a moment of respite, he quickly took the time to search for a life-restoring potion in the trading shop. At this time, there is actually a player selling life potion. 10 gold coins. Wang Shuo quickly contacted the player and made a request to trade energy crystals. Now he has no gold coins, and the battlefield is full of energy crystals. Fortunately, the other party agreed, and Wang Shuo used 10 energy crystals in exchange for 2 bottles of life potions. Each bottle of life potion can only replenish 50 points of health, and Wang Shuo's health has been restored to close to 200 points. The golden armored warrior was also fighting with the leader of the sludge monster at this time. When the long knife comes out, it can cut away large swaths of sludge every time, and the sludge monster leader's health continues to decrease. Suddenly, a large mud puddle appeared at the feet of the golden armored warrior. Wang Shuo knew that if he didn't take action, the golden armored warrior might be defeated. So he quickly joined the battle, and when he came to the edge of the mud pit, Wang Shuo threw out a rope. With the help of the rope, the golden armored warrior escaped from the mud pit trap. In the following battle, the golden armored warrior kept wandering around, avoiding the skills of the leader of the sludge monster, and constantly outputting damage to it. Its health quickly dropped below 2000. At this moment, a huge crocodile, although it has not reached the level of an elite monster, is not too different. It and a toad with colorful bumps all over its body, like a calf-sized toad, appeared in front of Wang Shuo's eyes. His heart was pounding, and Wang Shuo's eyes were filled with fear. He shot an arrow and checked the information. ID Frog 00010 Wenta, Bronze Boss, Level 10, Health Value 5000. Before it had time to check more information, its tongue swept over. Fortunately, Wang Shuo reacted quickly and directly threw the bow and arrow in his hand. Then he blocked it, dodged to the side, and escaped. And in place, a huge pit was left. Seeing that he was defeated, Wang Shuo decisively took out the mercenary contract. He now desperately needs new help. Should you summon mercenaries? Yes. To hire F-level mercenaries, rookies, just registered as mercenaries, and have not experienced any battles yet, you need to pay 1 gold coin per day. You can use energy crystals instead. 1 energy crystal is equal to 10 gold coins. E-level mercenaries, it costs 10 gold coins per hour to deal with ordinary beasts. D-level mercenaries can deal with bronze bosses at 100 gold coins per hour. I'll go, it's really worth every penny. Hire D-class mercenaries. Wang Shuo made his choice. Seeing the energy crystal exchange price given by the system, Wang Shuo felt that he had made a loss on the life potion just now. Energy crystal -10. A formation suddenly appeared in front of Wang Shuo's eyes, a burst of white light flashed, and a man wearing armor stood in front of Wang Shuo. Thank you, boss, for hiring me. I am D-class mercenary Wang Yanbing, reporting to you. Wang Shuo took a look. Wang Yanbing, D-class mercenary, level 10, combat power 200. Wang Yanbing just glanced at it and looked solemn for a moment. I'll go, is the battle so fierce? Wang Yanbing was startled. Seeing that the surroundings were covered with corpses, and there was a bronze boss nearby, he couldn't help but frown, and with a flicker, he avoided the toad's tongue. Boss, what are your needs? Although he had some guesses, Wang Yanbing still asked politely out of professional habits. Of course, all the monsters were eliminated. Wang Shuo gasped and took out a simple knife from his backpack again. Making customers satisfied is our aim, okay, boss. After Wang Yanbing finished speaking, he also took out a big knife, jumped in front of the toad, and slashed out with the knife, but the fire was scattered everywhere, and the defense was not even broken. There's some information. Licking his lips, he jumped 3 meters high and landed on the toad's back, so that he could avoid its attacks and look for opportunities to find the toad's weaknesses. The situation was initially under control. The golden armored warrior and the leader of the sludge monster fought together. Wang Yanbing dragged the bronze boss toad, while the remaining crocodile approached Wang Shuo again. This crocodile was very fierce, and Wang Shuo seemed to see hatred in its eyes. Are these beasts so intelligent now? Wang Shuo was a little bit unbelievable, but now the war was critical, and if he was distracted, he might die. Wang Shuo naturally did not have the ability to fight it head-on, so he had to keep wandering around. He glanced at Wang Yanbing, and the hope of breaking the situation fell on the golden armored warrior. Wang Shuo quickly commanded the golden armored warrior to kill the leader of the sludge monster, and he wandered to the side of the sludge monster leader, and took the time to use mud to interfere with it. Looking at the health of the sludge monster, Wang Shuo felt that he could not take it down for a while. Checking the backpack, he found that there were still 150 arrows. He kept adjusting his position, walked to the arrow tower, put all the arrows into the arrow tower, and shot at the giant crocodile. The crocodile's health was only 1,500, and after a round of burst shooting, only a layer of blood skin was left. However, Wang Shuo still found it difficult to break its defense. He wanted to end its life himself, but he was not strong enough. He had to order the golden armored warrior to turn around and cut it with a knife. Before the crocodile died, a huge golden figure jumped down from the sky, and the blade touched its back, leaving a huge cut. Your puppet golden armored warrior killed a level 6 crocodile. Wang Shuo did not have time to check the kill information, or even to see what good stuff he had exploded. The attack of the mud monster leader fell on him again, and Wang Shuo lost 25 points of health again. Ah! This really hurts, and he quickly hid behind the golden armored warrior. If there are 2 more hits, Wang Shuo will die. The surrounding monsters were constantly affected, and the number dropped to less than 100. Wang Shuo and the golden armored warrior focused on dealing with the mud monster leader. Boss, this boss is quite ferocious. Not so fierce, I can call for help. What, can't you handle it? It's not that I can't handle it, but I need to pay a certain price to kill it, so you have to pay more. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 29. Wang Shuo took a look at the colorful toad, and it was hard to mess with. And he even felt that the toad had not yet exerted its strength. After all, as a boss, it must have a big move. Wang Shuo gritted his teeth and nodded, saying, "Okay. Okay." Wang Yanbing immediately took out an unknown talisman paper from his backpack and slapped it on his strangely shaped sword. In an instant, a layer of fiery red light ignited on the blade, flickered slightly a few times, and attached to the blade. He held the handle of the knife with both hands, kicked his feet, leaped into the air, and shouted, "Open!" The toad felt pain immediately, and a huge wound opened on its back, blood spilled, and the color of its body became more vivid. Moreover, its size became huge in a few breaths. Wang Shuo was as small as an ant in front of it. I dare not imagine if I would have a chance to escape from its mouth if I was rolled by its tongue. I can't fight anymore. The health of the sludge monster leader has been reduced to less than 1/10. As long as the Golden Warrior strikes twice more, it can kill it. In order to prevent the sludge monster leader from counter-attacking before death, Wang Shuo hid far away from the two battlefields. A minute later, the system prompt sounded. Your Golden Warrior killed the sludge monster leader ID, MUD 00001 Tubo, you get all attributes add 1. You have upgraded to level 4, and the reward can allocate 1 free attribute point. After receiving the prompt, Wang Shuo patted his chest and finally killed another one. He looked at the durability of the Golden Warrior, which had been reduced to 2000. There is still strength for a fight. Wang Shuo absolutely dared not participate in the final boss battle. Once the boss toad rolled him into his mouth, with his current health value, he would definitely have to start a feast. Let the Golden Warrior clean up the remaining monsters first. And Wang Shuo focused on Wang Yanbing's battle. After the toad exploded, its tongue became unusually thick and hard, and its eyes could emit energy beams. As a result, Wang Yanbing fell into a hard fight and could only barely dodge, and some parts of his armor were dented. Soon, the golden armored warrior also joined the final decisive battle. In this way, it became a 2-on-1 situation. Both the golden armored warrior and Wang Yanbing had the combat power to match the bronze boss. In terms of combat power, they immediately took the advantage. The golden armored warrior attracted fire power from the front, and Wang Yanbing violently output, and the blood volume of the toad dropped quickly. However, the durability of the golden armored warrior dropped even faster. Wang Shuo was secretly anxious in his heart. If the golden armored warrior was gone, Wang Yanbing alone would probably not be able to defeat the toad. After fighting for a while, in the flash of lightning, the golden armored warrior seized an opportunity and cut off the tongue of the toad with a knife. Wang Shuo was overjoyed, God bless. The attack power of the toad was weakened by more than half at once. The HP also dropped to less than 1000, while the durability of the golden armored warrior was still 500. The balance of victory finally tilted towards Wang Shuo. Not long after, the bronze toad felt a little defeated and was about to escape. Wang Yanbing, we can't let it escape. Wang Shuo was very anxious and shouted. He didn't care about hiding now. If he let it run away, he would have to go to the swamp to kill it later, and he would have no advantage. Wang Yanbing jumped and chopped directly, and the enchanted big knife chopped into the wound again. The golden armored warrior also used his legs to jump to his back, and did the same action as Wang Yanbing. With one knife, he almost split the boss in half. Finally, the boss toad, after struggling for a few times, fell down with a bang, and the system prompt sounded. Your puppet killed the level 10 bronze boss, ID Frog 00010 Wenta, and you are rewarded with all attributes add 3, terrain change scrolls times 10, silver treasure chest times 1, Delusion Breaking Eye Skill Book, and Flaming Spear Construction Drawings. Since you are the first player to kill the bronze boss, you are rewarded with Treasure Map Fragment, 1/3, ×1, Void Shuttle Stone ×1. You have upgraded to level 5, and the reward can be allocated 1 free attribute point. System Announcement, Player ID, 5678 Wangshuo, the first to kill the bronze boss, hereby announced. Wangshuo was relieved until this moment. The next step is to collect the items dropped by the monsters. Wang Yanbing stood aside very politely and did not collect the items. Energy Crystal ×1800, Soul ×5, Bronze Treasure Chest ×5, Crocodile Skin ×160, Meat ×460, Bones ×200, Gold Coins ×300. The leader of the mud monster contributed 2 souls to Wangshuo, and the bronze toad exploded 3 souls and 5 bronze treasure chests. Wangshuo was stunned for a while when he saw such a huge amount of supplies. After a long time, Wangshuo came back to his senses and saw Wang Yanbing beside him, and put away his silly expression. Then he became alert and arranged the golden armor warrior by his side. "Dear boss, the safety of the employer is our mission. After all, the employment is over. I hope you can give a 5-star rating. Friendly reminder, our employment contract is charged by the hour. There are 20 minutes left. What else can I do for you?" When Wangshuo thought of charging by the hour, he felt distressed. 1 hour means 100 gold coins. But it is worth it. After all, his life is more precious. "How much do you want to add?" Wangshuo was in a good mood at this time. As long as the other party didn't ask for too much, he could accept it. "Dear boss, you know, the bronze boss just now is not an ordinary boss. In order to deal with it, I consumed a medium-level attack enchantment talisman paper, which is worth 100 gold coins." He thought for a moment and said, "Just 100 gold coins. After all, your puppet also played a big role in the battle just now." Wangshuo's mind was also active at this moment. The mercenary in front of him was a real old player. It would be great if he could get some important information from him. "How about this? I will compensate you with 150 gold coins, and we will have a good chat in the remaining time." Wangshuo rubbed his hands and smiled. Wang Yanbing glanced at the houses in the distance, and understood what was going on. He asked casually, "Dear boss, are you doing the novice trial? How many days have you survived?" 7th day. Wang Yanbing was shocked. It was only the 7th day, and there were houses. This was a great start. But looking around him, it was a swamp. How could this be possible? He couldn't figure it out, and a bronze boss appeared in his territory, which made him, a veteran and knowledgeable D-level mercenary, stunned. I have never heard anyone say that a bronze boss will appear in the novice trial. And he can also obtain a mercenary contract and create a D-level combat puppet like the Golden Armor Warrior. He was so shocked that he couldn't speak. Then he became more respectful. "Dear boss, as long as it doesn't violate the rules of the game, I will tell you everything I know. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 30. In the chat channel of the Lords, bursts of exclamation also erupted at this moment. It's a miracle that this coward can survive. I didn't expect that he actually had a mercenary contract. This is cheating. Ha ha ha, this is the funniest joke I've ever heard. Dear lords, who of you hasn't cheated? How can you stand out without a little adventure? This boy is really afraid of death. He can do whatever he wants. Unfortunately, what I need is a general who will lead the charge. If he is not suitable, I will not compete with you. Lord of the Earth, Can your territory still collect 500 gold coins? Do you want me to forgive the debt? Ha ha ha. Humph, Lord Qingyang, you also have a big family to support, so these gold coins should be used as a reward for you. I'm afraid that if you can't pay your wages, the people will rebel. The two of them were very angry. The encirclement and suppression mission was over, and most of the lords quit the group chat. The Sunset Lord did not leave, but said to Lord Zack, "The battle is over. Since Lord Zack, you have rewarded him with a skill book for the Eye of Delusion, then I will give him 3 instant teleports scroll, as a reward for launching the encirclement and suppression campaign in advance. I will keep an eye on him at any time. In addition, I will pre-invest 2 resource gift packs for him if he wins the battle for the village building order." Ken. Wang Shuo also learned a lot about the novice trial through his conversation with Wang Yanbing. The world that Wang Yanbing can know is a metaverse world managed by Lord Zack, the servant of God. It contains many worlds, and every new life that joins must go through a stage of survival of the fittest. Only players who can survive will be qualified to enter a larger stage and start a more brilliant life. The planet he came from, because its technology has developed to the stage of contact with the metaverse, was naturally discovered by Lord Zack, and was then included in the universe under his control. After knowing this, Wang Shuo took a deep breath. Being dominated by advanced civilization, he could only accept it all silently. Children, congratulations on surviving this battle. You have received compensation from Lord Sunset, 3 random teleportation scrolls. I hope you like it. Wang Shuo noticed that there were 3 more scrolls in the backpack. Since he had a rough idea of the situation, more questions arose and he wanted to know the answers. But he held back. His status was extremely unequal, and he didn't even know what questions to ask Mr. Zack. After experiencing this battle, he had more things to do next. The wall near the gate was almost completely collapsed. Through the system, I checked that 2,100 adobe bricks are needed to repair the fence. Wang Shuo glanced around. Now that the danger in the territory has been basically eliminated, there is now enough time to build high-end walls with fire bricks. Let's eat first and take a rest before talking. Sitting on the Grand Master's chair in the hall, Wang Shuo ordered a lotus root and pork ribs soup, a small stir-fried beef, and a portion of rice. While eating, opened the chat channel. The top announcement about Wang Shuo's victory over the bronze boss has disappeared. But the discussion below has not disappeared. The boss is so scary. He actually killed the bronze boss. The leopard in my territory. I can't find a way to deal with it now. Oh my god, aren't there any monsters around the boss? How did he kill a group of people by himself? Please give me a guide and a video explanation. Inspired by the boss, I decided to take action against the wolves in the territory today. Everyone, cheer me on. Upstairs, I advise you to be careful. I have only challenged a wild wolf once, and I almost turned into a wolf daddy. Wang Shuo took a sip of the soup, thought about it, and said to the group. The bronze boss in my territory was completely unexpected, and I was lucky enough to defeat it. The boss shows up. Please share your experience. Add 1. Add 2. Add 888. I saw that many players wanted Wang Shuo to share the details of the battle, but Wang Shuo couldn't refuse his kindness. Being able to get more information about beasts will at least give you more experience in the subsequent survival. The boss in my territory is a toad. Wang Shuo thought for a while, the leader of the sludge monster. I won't say anything about crocodiles, it's really hard to believe when he says it. As for the mercenary contract, Wang Yanbing said that in the novice trial stage, it is almost impossible for anyone to get it. This thing is too high-end and cannot be accessed by other players, so he will not brag to them. Just one golden armored warrior caused countless exclamations from below them. Among them, Zhao Shan he felt the most profoundly. The steel puppet he left behind is still a little short of materials, but Wang Shuo's golden armored warriors are already ready to fight for him. He had no choice but to smile bitterly and said in a private message, "Congratulations, Brother Wang, for defeating the bronze boss." Finally, Wang Shuo warned everyone that in order to solve the security problem of the territory, it is best to have equipment and open more treasure boxes. After saying that, he silently hung up 150 bronze keys in the trading house. A few minutes later, adding the bronze key from before, Wang Shuo had another 346 gold coins. "Oh my god, I got 60 gold coins for 2 gold coins. I got a good longbow, now I am more confident in killing wild beasts." Seeing many players harvest a lot of supplies and equipment, Wang Shuo was also very happy. Everyone is from Blue Star, and he can help as much as he can, and he can also get the income from selling keys, which is the best of both worlds. After lunch, he also opened 5 bronze treasure chests. Gold coins times 60, iron ore times 500, bronze ore times 300, coal times 400, energy tower construction drawings times 1, cotton times 300, chicks times 20, goats times 10. Wang Shuo was even more happy. Finally, there are small animals to raise in the breeding farm. Hurry up and put the lambs and chickens into the breeding farm. Wang Shuo also specially used a wall to separate the breeding farm. It can only be placed like this for the time being, and they will be placed farther away later. By the way, I checked and found that the crops I planted were growing well. They can be harvested tomorrow. I got a lot of new materials and can repair the golden warrior first. I spent 300 gold coins and 400 iron ores. Next, I explored the swamp in depth and collected some clay to make fire bricks. He went to the south, the territory of the crocodiles. At present, the crocodiles should have been eliminated. Wang Shuo was still making rafts and paving the road, and soon he reached the edge of the swamp in the south. At this moment, Wang Shuo was in front of a wall of air. He could no longer move forward. There was a foggy fog in front of him and he could not see anything clearly. After walking about 500 meters, it seemed that the entire swamp area was about a radius of 550 meters. When he thought that this area would soon become his territory, Wang Shuo smiled. Next, he searched the area carefully and found no potential danger. He only harvested a few nests of crocodile eggs and some small crocodiles less than half a meter long. Wang Shuo did not intend to tame these little crocodiles, so he killed them all directly. Then he took out the terrain change scroll and used only one scroll to turn this swamp into a plain. At this time, the water in the swamp directly squeezed into the swamps on both sides. Looking at the newly formed land in front of him, Wang Shuo fell into deep thought. He must use a wall to enclose his territory. This way he can feel more secure. The idea is great. But the workload is huge. Let's explore the territory. Came to the eastern area, where the toad lives. There is no danger inside either. He used this area as an area to get clay and built a huge pond by the way. He worked until the evening, and he collected 10,000 pieces of clay, and the pond also took shape. Tomorrow he will continue to build a brick kiln here, so that he can burn the kiln on the spot and make bricks and tiles. Back in the shelter, Wang Shuo rested early. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 31. That night, Wang Shuo slept very peacefully and had no dreams. In the early morning, Wang Shuo opened the door and saw that the courtyard wall was still as dilapidated as yesterday, but this did not affect Wang Shuo's good mood throughout the day. I came to the kitchen and made myself a rujiamo and a tomato and egg soup. Real rujiamo. 2 pieces of crocodile meat, a piece of bread in the middle, eat it by yourself, don't make a bun with the meat. In this lonely world, the only entertainment that most players such as Wang Shuo have every day is to go to the chat channel and chat with other players. The scene of going home often appeared in Wang Shuo's mind. What the hell? He felt a little strange and suddenly homesick. Put aside those unrealistic ideas and carefully read what other players said. My day starts with this bowl of Yangchun noodles. After eating this bowl, I feel full of energy. Upstairs, my mouth is watering. Can you save some noodle soup? I'm choking on this steamed bun. My big bone soup is made from the thigh bones of level 2 beasts and simmered over high fire for 12 hours. The broth is delicious and the meat is fragrant. Each bowl only costs 18 copper coins. Chef Zhang, that's enough of you. You advertised so early in the morning and it made me greedy. Yesterday, I finally killed the old lion. Today I plan to reunite their family. I wonder if I can tame a baby lion. 666. Wang Shuo drank the last sip of soup and wiped his mouth with his sleeve. It seems that other players are living a happy life. Then he smiled again. Survivor bias. Open the taskbar. Day 8, 8:14 a.m., number of survivors in the current area, 2658/10,000. Main mission, survive to the end. Side mission. 1. Please upgrade your residence to a courtyard house as soon as possible. Upgrade condition 1, 2000 wood add 10,000 fire bricks add 20,000 green tiles add 2000 stone add 20 energy crystals add 200 iron ore add 100 gold coins add 1 energy converter. Upgrade condition 2, complete control of the territory. There are a ridiculous amount of materials to upgrade the courtyard, and it also requires an energy converter. Wang Shuo has never heard of this thing and has no clue at all. In the short term, it seems that it will be impossible to upgrade. To collect more supplies, build more buildings, make more tools, upgrade higher level shelters, to obtain a higher ranking. The encirclement and suppression mission had disappeared, and there were no new missions. Wang Shuo then opened the diary. It was as if he saw Wang Shuo and turned to this page. It turned out that the words on it were erased one by one. Then he rewrote 8 words. Heavy rain is coming, flooding the ocean. Seeing these 8 words, Wang Shuo fell silent. Is there going to be a flood? Or are you pretending again? Don't you curse me to death now? After thinking for a long time, Wang Shuo took out the appraisal scroll given by Lord Zak. With the idea of giving it a try, he used the identification scroll against his survivor's manual. Unexpectedly, it actually came to fruition. It is detected that there are residual souls in the player's survivor's manual, which can be purified using the purification scroll. Oh! It turns out that this manual of mine is indeed a bit unclean. Hey, I already know your identity, let's talk. Nothing happens. You actually ignored me, then don't blame me for having a purification scroll in the future and destroying you. Let's see, Wang Shuo snorted viciously. Ignoring it anymore, Wang Shuo opened the trading house again. He is making cement now, but still needs lime, and the amount should be relatively large. After some searching, I found that 2 players already had lime and were selling it on consignment. Wang Shuo selected a player named Luo Heidong with ID 8051 and added him as a friend. Big brother, good morning. Good morning, boss. You know me. I dare say that everyone in our area doesn't know the boss's name. You have announced it many times through the system. Wang Shuo scratched his head, a little embarrassed. Are you so famous? Well, I want to exchange some lime with you, how about that? No problem, how much do you want to change? How much do you have? I have a lot of demand. Also, what do you want to exchange for? Boss, you want to make cement, right? How do you know? After asking, Wang Shuo felt a little stupid for asking such a simple question. I can already make cement. Now I am building a city wall and I am short of bricks. Boss, you should have a lot of bricks, Luo Heidong guessed that he had seen Wang Shuo selling large quantities of tiles in the trading house. Yes, anyway, he wanted to make a large amount of fire bricks, so he could trade some of them to him. 100 cement for 500 adobe bricks, how about that? Wang Shuo didn't know the effect of cement yet, but he could already make fire bricks, so he said, I can make more advanced fire bricks. How about 100 fire bricks for 200 cement? As soon as Luo Heidong heard about the higher grade fire bricks, he immediately agreed. After the agreement was made, the two went to prepare separately. Arriving at the pond yesterday, Wang Shuo built an earthen kiln not far away. Thanks to the convenience of the system, he built 2 kilns without much effort. He put clay in them and put in 100 units of coal. Each earth kiln can burn 5,000 fire bricks at the same time. Wang Shuo looked at the time and it only took 4 hours. Wang Shuo couldn't believe the efficiency of this earth kiln, but after thinking about it, he felt relieved that he could harvest crops in 2 days. Slapping his forehead, Wang Shuo remembered that there were still crops to be harvested, and the chickens and lambs to be fed. So he hurried to the backyard. He silently said harvest vegetables in his heart. There were 100 wheat, 40 cucumbers and 60 potatoes in the backpack. Not bad, the food is rich again. He planted some tomatoes, wheat and rice in 5 grids each. Tomatoes only need to take out the seeds inside to sow, while wheat and rice need seeds provided by the system. In 2 days, they can be harvested again. When you see the chicks, you can feed them with some wheat, but what about the lambs? He didn't have any grass. So he searched in the trading house and found someone selling grass. 1 silver coin per unit, no problem, just bought 10 units. After feeding the lambs, Wang Shuo considered moving the farm and farmland outward. At present, the growth cycle of these lambs is 6 days, which is 3 times longer than the cycle of crops. After doing this, he went to burn the kiln. While collecting clay, he burned the kiln. By noon, he had made 2 more earth kilns. Taking advantage of the free time, he had lunch. Soon, the first batch of fire bricks came out, a total of 10,000. Wang Shuo used 2,000 fire bricks to exchange for 4,000 cement. Upgraded the circle of walls outside the residential houses. Consumed 4,000 fire bricks and 1,000 cement. In the afternoon, burned 2 more kilns. Then began to explore the north and west of the swamp. In the flax field in the north, he left a large area of flax, and transformed the rest of the land. As for the west, Wang Shuo was still a little worried, so he sent the golden armored warriors to explore the way. After walking around the edge of the foggy area, he found that this area was about 200 square meters, and there was also a swamp around it. With the golden armored warriors by his side, Wang Shuo was much bolder. He took a step forward and the system prompt sounded. Discovered the void vortex. The surrounding fog dissipated in an instant, which surprised Wang Shuo. At the same time, the scene in front of him changed, and a huge starry sky vortex was constantly rotating.